Yeah. We're starting early today. Our new library, Moonflower tapes for Unify. Everything you're hearing is Unify. Golden hour. Try another one. These, by the way, are demos. At the end of the library, these are here to let you play with all the sounds together. There's a delay in my voiceover. Uh-oh. Echo, echo, echo. There shouldn't be an echo. Let me see here. Let me go over to all these various tools. Where'd loopback go? Rats. I don't want voiceover echo. Huh. Well, I'm experimenting with some new things. I don't know if you guys know this, but I have a very large monitor that I'm working with now. Let's see here. Did that fix it? Do you hear the echo? Now I can't hear myself, so I can't do that. It's not that. Huh. There should... I don't have anything set to echo. So... Still there. Echo's still here. Bob, do you hear? Oh, you know what? It might be because I'm running here too. So, how's that? Is that better? No echo now? I had voice software running for interviewing Bob because he's going to be here. No, it should be gone now. No more echo. Test 1, 2. Hello. This is John. We are playing without echo. Still got echo. Holy cow. Well, how in the world do I do that? Because I just have Logic running, and I muted my voice. Huh. Echo yet. Huh. Let me see what I can find to modify. Testing this just right there. I don't have anything else. Let's turn pass-through off. How's that? Is that echo off? Testing 1, 2. Testing. I turned the pass-through option off, so. Slapback. Well, no, same. Well, you might have to just have a John with echo today, because I haven't changed anything. Hi, Don. Good to see you. Welcome, everybody. This is a live stream with free echo, I guess. So, feedback loop doubled. Well, darn it. If I turn this off, test 1, 2. Does that get... Is the echo gone? Is it gone? Test 1, 2. No echo. Testing 1, 2. No echo, I hope. Okay. So what I had Logic on, as well as the Scarlett Audio. The Scarlett Audio is what the OBS software is picking up, but if I turn this off, somehow it's still picking up my voice. Is it picking up your voice? Hey there, welcome. Well, welcome. Hello, everybody. Over here. My name's John Lemcool. We are live streaming. It's very live because if there's echo, then you hear echo. Sorry about that. It's good to see you all. It's been a couple weeks. A lot has happened. I have driven 2,700 miles in like 10 or 11 days. Huge amount of driving. I drove all the way to Los Angeles. Drove to Death Valley on the way. My dad's car that he let me borrow that had only 18,000 miles had a major engine issue, which took 5 days to get repaired. I was on my way to Death Valley and I get an overheating error message. So it's like, okay, I'm not going into Death Valley with an overheating car. And so I'll tell you the whole story in a little bit. We're going to, still there. Mic level is way low. Okay, well, let's see here what my options are. The volumes are up. I can get the mic a little bit closer. Testing 1, 2. Make sure that this doesn't look too bad on our OBS feed. Yeah, okay, we'll have the mic right here so I can talk right in it. Sometimes I put it away a little bit, but this will be a little bit more direct voice. Hi, Tim. Good to see you. Seems fine. Okay, good. That's fine. So it's really cool. We have 2 new libraries at the same time released. It's great time. I love stuff like this. So Tim is in the house. So let's point out real quickly, there's a couple of days left on his library, which is right here, Modularity. This is a really fun library of all sorts of really cool patches in kind of a modular synthesizer theme. There's all sorts. Let me just play a couple sounds really quick from this. So, let's do this. Let's build something up really fun. Let's just say like. Got some percussion. Modular synthesizers and stuff. This is a really fun library. Got a lot of stuff going on, a lot of stuff hidden. So his library has a couple more days at its introductory price at 40% off. Lots of basses. Again, modular synthesizers. Go to the Guru sampler list. It's got quite a healthy list of Eurorack, percussion, emulations, where he's done things of 26 MS-20, Zebralet 3 sampled, all sorts of stuff. Music is too loud. Oh. Music is way louder than my voice. Interesting. Well, okay, let's do this. Let's go over here to loop back. Go to Unify. And I can set that volume to like 70%. Let's see. Let's go over to the new library, which has like full mixes, so we can play something that's nice, big, and full. Here's. How's that? Good mix between voice and music. Right? Sounds good? Is that good? Let's play one of the bigger mixes, like Golden Hour. This has like a lot of stuff. How's that? Okay, cool. Yeah, so Tim's library has a lot of people are loving it. It's very flexible. There's a ton of patches. 328 patches. So it goes quite deep into all sorts of levels of synthesis. It's not really genre specific, although I would say it's more like experimental genre of dance. But so many things have additional layers to them. It's very fun. Okay, so Modularity is on sale until Sunday night. The whole website actually is on sale until Sunday night. All the libraries are at 40% off. So if you want to save some money, come to the Plugin Guru website, and we thank you for your business. The new library is Moonflower tapes. And let me get my artwork back up if I have it right here. This is the artwork of the library. This is the 6th library. I think I incorrectly said the 7th in my first bio information that I released. And then I went and counted, and it's number 6, which is still a healthy number. Bob has released first Ambient Dreams. Actually, Renegade was first, and then Ambient Dreams, Space Dreams, Back to the 80s, Cyberpunk. He's all over the map in genres, but they are really targeted at those genres and give you a ton of really cool things to work with in those genres. And so Renegade is for cinematic trailers and, like, I'd say like rock and roll because of all the rock guitars. It's got some of the best distorted sampled sampling guitars with distortion. I have learned is very hard. And he has done a really great job. If you look at the sample maps for these, they're massive. I think there's 8 velocity layers. Play soft to get the mute. Has hits, sweeps, goes all over the place. Really, really, really cool stuff. The cinematic percussion and stuff is really, really great. The new library is aimed at a genre I love very much, and a lot of you love very much, which is the lo-fi, chill, down-tempo, ambient cinematic. It can go all sorts of places. And the best way to show it off, Bob put together these song demos where you just call up one of these. It calls up all the effects. My voice is doing good stuff. Great vibe. These are all new instruments, all new samples. A lot of the samples are 3-time round robin, which is really cool. I muted a drum. I snuck a drum in there and saved it. So you have 7 layers of instruments and drums. Now, one thing I did, I like to contribute to libraries and find different things to do, is I made like mirror versions of these called the YY version, which has the same thing, but now everything's on different MIDI channels without MIDI box. So you can take, if I go here to Logic, well, I'm not playing this in Logic, but every one of the different sounds is on a different MIDI channel. So you can call these up and immediately start writing music using all the sounds found in Is This Goodbye? So the pads, the pianos, the special effect, which is one of the ear candy samples. That's in the mix. And without it, so it's a really cool combination of ambiances mixed with synthesis. Meticulously designed. It's such a tasty library for this kind of stuff. Drum grooves with his own drum kit, all sorts of things. We'll go through the library in more detail, but I have a special treat. Bob is here, so we can talk to him and say hi. Hi, Da Vinci. Welcome. Let's see, hey, get your voice about 2 dB more would be perfect. I just don't want to distort my voice. My voice is already, I'll turn up just a little bit more. Okay? And Bob, turn your voice up. They're going to want loud voices. All right, let's bring in Bob. Hello, sir.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, make it louder. Get your microphone closer so that you're like, how you doing? Oh, maybe mute the live stream because that's going to be a delay.
John, can you hear? I cannot hear you.
Oh, I muted my voice. So here, let's see. There, now you hear me? Hello.
I don't get any sound if I mute the live stream. I cannot hear you at all.
Oh. Okay, that's because, okay, so we're going to have to go over here. That's what that switch is for. Now you hear me, right?
I think you changed something in the loop back.
Yes. I put loop back. We're going to have a double of my voice, guys, so that Bob can hear me. Because let's see. If I go audio, let's see. If I go loop back audio, and let's go back to Logic and turn. Can you hear me? Testing. 1, 2. Your speaker null is not working. Okay. Great. I don't need that error message. Bob, do you hear me? Testing 1, 2. Do you hear me? Let's see here. Oh boy. Same as system. Hello, testing? Do you hear me? Echo, echo. Okay, so I could, if I turn that off, and if I go Scarlet, select a speaker. Testing 1, 2. Do you hear me? Testing, testing. Do you hear me? Hello? Now I don't hear you. Speaker Scarlet 1818. Are you there, Bob?
Hi.
Do you hear me?
Hello.
Hello, I hear you. Do you hear me?
I hear you, yeah.
Okay. I'm using my iPhone as a microphone.
Okay, I guess that will work.
I just don't know if people will be able to hear me now.
Do
and
you want to
everybody
do
hears
the?
me? Is this better? I'm checking the audio levels just to make sure. Does this sound okay? And we're there. Okay. Everybody says it's working. Okay. Well, I'm using my phone as a microphone. How funny. Things we have to do to make things work on the spot sometimes. Okay. Glad you can hear us. All right. Hi, Bob.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. And how are you?
A little sweaty.
Flatty?
Trying to get this to work it always gets you a little hot under the collar.
Do you want to do the Zoom call again? Maybe it will fix things.
No, it's going to be the same.
Ah,
It's the connections, and I just didn't have it connected right, and I guess now I have it
okay.
working at least, and everybody can hear, and they hear you. So just have the microphone a
Okay.
little closer so that they hear you really clearly.
Okay.
There you go. And tell us the story of Moonflower tapes.
The story is pretty simple, actually. I was thinking for a long time to make a lo-fi library, but I wanted to be somewhat special to include other elements as well, not just lo-fi. I wanted cute elements as well, noises. So I was searching for quite a long time for a signature sound. And I got inspired again by various music that I was listening to, and I found elements that I like, and it was really the vocal chop elements and the square type bass and sub basses that made it sound have this particular sound, and some cute elements that I put also in there, not just pure lo-fi sounds, but these other elements that make it signature sound.
Yeah,
So
it
yeah, that was
has
it.
like, to me, it's kind of like you imagine yourself as an artist making a record and put
Yeah,
together a set of sounds you would use to create an album so that it would have a recognizable, unique character. And
that's exactly it.
it's awesome that people can buy this and then use that as part of their toolkit to work with. It's awesome.
Yeah, exactly the way I see it is how you described it right now. It's a toolkit, and I take a lot of time to make all the sounds complement each other, and nothing is random basically.
Mm-hmm.
I try really hard to make it a toolkit, really targeted is in somewhere specific, and and then I make these demo songs which showcase what is the target,
Right.
and of course always you can use it in other stuff as well. But I quickly show you what was my idea, what were my thoughts, and when I was making this.
Yes. Well, it came out so nice. It's always like Christmas time when one of your libraries shows up, because it's like, oh, what do we get to play with this time? Because each library kind of like sits you right in the middle of like a cityscape, and you just kind of like do a
Right.
360 looking around at like all the shops you get to go shopping in, places you get to go on adventures with. It's really, really fun.
Yeah.
Let's see here. I'm looking at we have people asking questions in German. Got a nice conversation going on in German. Yeah, Andy is saying he likes the ability to control the lo-fi effects, which is very, very nice. It is true. Let me show those, in fact, and you can maybe describe some of these. If you go down the library, you get to these effects, and he has two ways of presenting them. One, which, if you look at the keyboard, it shows you where they start. Like, where'd that sound come from? Do you hear that scraping? It's a scraping.
So all you have to do is go to FX ER Canty sample.
Oh, the sample, right?
And search for the fifth. I think it's the fifth sample, right? You want to see, because I have the naming also.
Coffee Foley. Oh, you're stirring a cup of coffee.
So yeah, I was making a coffee. I was using a coffee machine. So actually, I have this sample for quite a long time, because we had a bakery back then. Now it's closed. We rent it to other people. But it was our family business. We had a coffee machine, and I was using that coffee machine actually. I had the recorder a little bit far away, but still I liked the recording and I used it. So yeah, I have many recordings from the show.
So this is from your
quite
coffee
nostalgic
shop.
as well. Yeah.
Wow. I love it. Okay, let's see what else we got in the list here. So if we scroll the sample, here is bubbles.
The bubbles are totally synthetic. I made that in Vital. These are synthetic bubbles.
Still sounds like bubbles. And as you can see, you've got control over the pitch. So you can set the bubbles at a certain pitch if you want. Let's see what else we got. Rustling leaves. Is that leaves? Real leaves or paper?
Yeah. No, they're real leaves.
Wow. Okay. Very fun. So you have these ambiances that you can layer with the grooves. And as I pointed out, if you get down here to these grooves, most all of these, if you look, you'll see that there's, let's see, not that one, but let's go to breakfast time. There'll probably be, yeah, there's going to be FX frying. So you have the frying sound in this one.
Oh, for breakfast time, yeah, because I was making the bacon, right? You have to fry the bacon and make your breakfast.
Yeah. So there's your bacon.
Yeah, that's a real fry effect.
I love it. I love it. So I'll go through all the individual sounds after this, and also just so there's a 30-minute video walkthrough I created going through and playing a lot of the sounds in the library and stuff. So there's all sorts of ways to hear the sounds that are in the library before picking it up if you would like to. There might be a double echo on my sound. I'm sorry. I'm trying to minimize that, but I'm using the microphone of my iPhone, right? As well as the feedback from my microphone. And if I turn off my microphone, then Bob can't hear me talk. So I'm sorry,
Technical difficulties.
It's like, man. And, it's just me by myself in my studio. So it's not like I have engineers and somebody running the board and someone we're just flying by the seat of our pants here. So you guys can get your money back at the door. I'm sorry, it's all right. I'm sorry. It's okay. Okay. Um, so what else can we talk about with this library?
I
I
could
thought it
say
was really
that,
interesting. A lot of them are round robin based.
yeah. So let's start that I made everything in Vital, well, almost everything. I have, of course, Foley sounds, recorded sounds, but even the vocal chops, I made so much stuff in Vital. This is all synthetic stuff, all in Vital, all made in Vital.
Wow.
And then from there, I have, my techniques for making round robins, velocity layers. I've made everything in this library, both velocity layers and round robins in certain sounds.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, I have the Foley sounds, but it's mostly synthetic. It's lo-fi, it's electronic based music. So yeah.
Now, when you're talking the round robins, did you alter synth parameters for each of the alternate? So it's not
Oh
just
yeah,
like playing the same thing 3 times, right? Because I hear
yeah.
pretty big
Imagine that you
differences.
have.
Yeah.
Well, imagine that you play a sound in a synthesizer. I mean, you can tweak a knob and it will sound a little bit different. Or even better, you can assign an LFO and it will change over time.
Mm-hmm.
So you can create actually real live round robins at the spot. Depending, of course, on how you're gonna go about it and what is the sound, what you want to achieve with it, and so on. But
Right.
that's the way I made it.
I see. Yeah. So if we go over here to the plucks, for example, you notice it, especially on a lot of these guys, where each time you play it, you hear that there's subtle differences. And that's from having like LFOs and things, changing it so that each time you sample and do a pass, it'll have different settings, so it's going to sound a little bit different.
Right.
Yeah, clever, great. Because if you look at the sample list for this, it's a lot of samples. It's not just one pass, of 15 samples, which is what I do a lot of times. This is actually doing 3 times through sampling it, right?
So for me, it really depends on how you want to go about it with your sound. So if you want it to be very playable, it has to have velocity layers and round robins. If you want it to be more synthetic sounding, it has to be one sample or a few samples actually. Otherwise, it won't sound as synthetic. So it really depends on what you want to achieve and how you want to use the sound. For example, another example, the vocal chops, I don't want them to be playable. Otherwise, I would go and create all sorts of variations and round robins, and you will get much deeper sampling of one vocal sound. I didn't do that. I want them to sound more synthetic, right? But for many of the black sounds, I want it to be very playable because they add very much to the to the essence of this music.
Yeah.
The pads, for example, on the other side, don't. They are simply a few samples. They are not one sample, but they are not many samples. They're just a few samples. So some samples are deep sampled because I want them to be very playable, to add to the music.
Right.
It's the goal is the most important thing for me. What do you want to achieve? So everything, I plan everything according to what I want to do in the end. What's my goal?
Right. Well, it came out nice. I also noticed in the keys, there's a Petrov piano. I believe that's your piano, right? You sampled your piano for this?
Yeah, I have a Petrov piano, so I have sampled it in multiple libraries. So you have it in Ambient Dreams, you have it in Space Dreams. Maybe you have it in the Heartstrings.
Yes,
maybe you have. I'm not sure.
I think so.
But it's not as deeply sampled as I did it for Ambient Dreams. So it's like a stripped down version. Still sounds like a real piano, but it's for electronic music. I just wanted to have organic elements
Yeah.
and I
And it's
have
very
the piano
calm. It's
and
a very
again,
mellow version too.
yeah, it's a mellow piano.
And I think in other libraries you would have note offs and so forth and additional things. This is just the piano by itself. It's lovely.
By the way, the other piano, I have another piano called that is called Bone Piano. I can show it to you right now. Just a moment.
Okay, yeah. Bone piano. I'll play it real quick.
That's a toy piano.
A toy piano.
A toy piano. Yeah, I'm gonna show it to you right now. Marimba as well.
Yeah.
And I think harp as well. So that's it.
Ah. And who makes that? Bontempi?
Yeah. I bought this. This is like a toy synth. I think it has. You can play up to 3 voices, if I'm not mistaken. It's very interesting.
And in Unify, you can upgrade it to 64 voices. Lovely. It's fun. Well, I mean, that's where the fun comes from, is like making things from these other sound sources.
Yeah, so I have a real piano, I have a toy piano as well. So marimba sounds also very cool for a toy marimba.
Oh, yes, the vibraphone was really nice. That was in...
Was it a vibro? I think it was marimba.
It sounds like a vibraphone to me, but if they call it marimba, but I can't remember.
They call it...
Where was it at? It was like... on
the keys.
Yes.
Bone marimba. It should be
bone marimba.
Yeah, because they are all from the same toy.
It has that vibraphone, because a real marimba is wood, and here I'm that metal. But down here it sounds kind of woody, so it's kind of a hybrid. It's coming from a little portable keyboard. Lovely.
Yeah, so these are all one-shot samples. All the bone samples are one-shot samples. That's it.
Right, but multiple samples across the keyboard because the LFO isn't like speeding up crazy.
No,
or is that in the
Which one?
programming? Let's take a look at the sampler.
This is from the Unify sampler, from the sampler.
Ah, clever. He's using the LFO.
Yeah.
So it is one sample. And it's a good sample. Cool.
Yeah.
It doesn't always take 200 samples to,
No.
take over a village. Hey, do you guys have any questions? How the heck did you get a Bontempi to sound so good? Yeah. So there's really nice instruments in here. As you can see, Bob went through and picked different elements that in the end work together to make a really colorful, very well-crafted palette of sounds that work together. So people are loving it. You guys have any more questions? With the Moonflower, some sounds are turned off. How do you turn them on? Oh, I think he's talking about maybe in some of the song, the X patches. Some of these you'll notice have the macro knobs to play with. Like here's one called Breakfast Time, where it starts simple. As you bring up the D and B knob, you get the bass and the drums. So that's if you don't hear sounds, there's also, you can just go up to the volume knobs and adjust them if you want, right? So I think that's what you're talking about. He also likes the names given to the samples. That's nice. Explain the Japanese inspiration, please. Because it was originally called
Komorebi.
Komorebi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's not random. I mean, I listen to a lot of Japanese music, all kinds of Japanese music actually,
Yeah.
and Korean music as well. I'm listening all sorts of music. So, but the Japanese, I was listening a lot of Japanese lo-fi, hip hop, down tempo, and they have some elements and some naming, and I guess I got inspired from this. Well, to to an extent. Then I was watching a Japanese TV show called Shogun. I don't know if you have watched it,
Yeah.
but it's amazing. So a little hint: I'm working on something that Shogun is a major inspiration. Let's say.
Yeah. I haven't watched that show in a long. Is this the older Shogun or is this a new series?
No, it's a new iteration of the old Shogun. So
Okay.
it's
Yeah. I need to watch
I
that.
think it's 2024.
Mhm.
I think
Right.
it has one season. They say that there will be more.
Oh, okay. And it's really good.
It's really good. I really liked it.
Okay. Okay. Well, there's something to add to my list. Yeah, we've got people talking about the new version of Blue ARP, which we don't currently have in Unify, so we won't really talk about that right now.
Okay.
The drums. Can you explain a little bit about some of these drum sounds and the and did I sent you the library to try the final version, right? Did you have a chance to try
Sorry?
out the final version? I made a drum kit from your samples.
Oh no, you didn't send that to me.
Oh, well, he has the drums in separate menus for drums, for kicks,
Oh,
snares,
yeah.
hats, and percussion. I put them all together in one map, so you can play everything at once. So, a lot of the snares are really cool. Is that from listening to all the different down tempo to get the kind of ploppy?
Yeah. So I've made a bunch of snares in Vital, and
These were made in Vital?
Everything is made in Vital. I actually have a library, a Vital library.
Wow.
I just don't make it available yet. So everything is made in Vital, and I have a bunch of sounds that I pick according to what I need.
Mhm.
So these snares were my pick for this library.
I see.
I have, of course, way more.
Oh, we like to hear that. We like to hear that. We are definitely sound hounds over here, right? So
Yeah, because in the end, it's very important to me, very, very important to make specific library and target. So,
Yeah.
everything gets filtered.
right,
So it's only a few that will make it to the end, actually.
right. Yeah, that's fascinating.
Yeah.
Now, are you using the sample oscillator to put a snare and then augment it in Vital, or are these all synthesis? I mean, some definitely sound like pure synthesis, but
I'm using everything. I'm using everything possible. Everything possible. You name it, I'm using it.
cool.
Samples, oscillators, all sorts of
Love it.
abilities that Vital gives you. Yeah, everything.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. Awesome. Well, it's got a great vibe, and you definitely filtered and picked correctly. So well done.
you,
Everybody's
thank
very
you.
happy that they are having such fun, cool, creative sounds to play with. So, yay!
Thank you so much. I'm glad to hear it.
Yes. Yeah. I'm digging it 100%. So yeah, people are into it. So good job. Good
Great.
job. Well, thank you. He gave me a few
Thank you.
hints of what he's working on for the future, and he's still hitting him out of the park. We're not going to say anything at this point right now, but I love that you're doing, this is your full-time job, right? You had the bakery, and then the bakery.
Yeah.
And so this is our living is from making these libraries.
Exactly, yeah. I'm just fully focused on making sound design, libraries, and then exploring techniques and everything that I can. I love sound design, I love music. I keep listening to all sorts of music. You cannot even imagine what kind of underground music I'm listening to. But yeah, Yeah, man, it's my full time. This what's on my mind 24 hours every day.
Wow. Wow. Well, it shows. It shows in the libraries. They're very, very fun to play with and great inspiration. Thank you. Thank you for
Thank
working
you
with
so
us
much.
here to make these for
Thank you for
Unify.
having me,
Yeah.
and thank you for everyone watching,
Yes.
and thank you for your support, everyone.
Of course. Thank you. All right. Well, we'll play through the library a little bit. And
Awesome.
thank you for joining us today, Bob.
Thank you.
Okay.
Have a good time.
All right. We will have a good time. And we'll put you over here. Take care, buddy. All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Yay. Okay. So let me see if I can get the audio to be hopefully the echo is gone. So and calorie free, Simeon, thank you, man. So as you heard, everything for the most part in this library, minus like the where was it at? His piano that he sampled in the keys. The Petrov is his acoustic piano. But it's very mellow, and it doesn't have, it just is what it is. But when you combine this, let's add a unified pad. Just works so nice together. These vocal sounds he also created using Vital. So all these chops, he has all of these, if you go, they're really lovely. And again, using knob too. So you can get some really cool. You can turn on, just because the knob is cycling through these. Let's say you like this, but you want to layer or something. You have the little off X's. You can turn these on. Just don't move your knob number 2 again if you do this, because as soon as you move this, it goes back to muting. It's set, if you look at the commands and the way this is set up, each one of these layers is set to come on and off only in a very specific small region of the map. So it's turning on a very specific one of these plugins when it's at a certain section in the knob's range. But if you go over here and you turn on parts like this, I can have 4 parts play. And use that. Just don't move your knob. In fact, you might want to hold down the Option key and click the knob to reset it once you have a sound you want. So that you can't accidentally mess it up. And if you want, you can hold down Option on the little bullets over here and remove the muted layers so you have just the 4 layers you were using. And then if you really want to get into it, you can like play with panning, pan them left and right. To play like that. So there's lots of ways to use this library beyond what it was designed for. Same with the kicks and snares. He has, if you go to the drum to the snares sample map, this allows you to cycle through all the snares, right? But if you want, you could layer like 3 or 4 of these and then maybe pan a couple of them to give it, to find the pitch that you want it to. Find the pitch that you want, But you can play with these layers. When it says sample, that just means it's a sample map. Let's say I want this. I want 3 of these for my kick. And turn this one down. And maybe I want to put reverb on this one. You can do anything you want. You can even go to any built-in audio effects that are here. You could say Valhalla vintage verb. Let's see, where's pre-delay? No pre-delay. So you have just a little bit of ambience on just one of the layers. Or without it, you know? So the library, again, these are flexible. These grooves, you have the kicks by themselves, which if you go kick, here's kind of something fun. If you set the loading option to instrument 1 only, now you can choose like snare. Let's get hi-hats. Let's have miscellaneous. Let's have all 3 miscellaneous. And then here's the power move. Go over here to the little bullet for the macro knobs and say duplicate links to all layers. And this will work because I used instrument 1 only. If I would have used unify layer, then this wouldn't work because all the other layers don't say groove sampler. They say unify, right? But for all the layers, because it's loading it as a new unify layer, which the advantage of that is it gives you any auxiliary effects or any mastering effects that are applied and so forth. But in the case of saying instrument 1, now all these knobs, I can change sample start, pitch, and it changes all of them. Shorten them. Bring up the velocity. If I play sample select, I can get all sorts of variations and crazy stuff that happen. So you can get into some really fun territory. The trick is this, though. Start with normal, load a kick to start. Then change your loading mode to instrument 1 only. And now as you click and add, I don't want to loop, so let's say no to the loops. So here's 4 layers, right? Right now, these knobs are set just to 1 layer because it was based on the kick patch that I loaded, right? This is where this little bullet right here is cool because this does global. You can copy your knob assignments, apply them to another patch. But at the very bottom, in the latest versions, I asked Shane to create this duplicate links to all layers. And what that does is any assignments of the knobs to any of the same effect that you see in multiple layers, it will apply. So this allows me to like spam the knob assignments. So now instead of 1, it's done to all 4 because they're all guru samplers. So right. Cool, Glenn. Thank you. So there's all sorts of flexible places to play this library. As I also showed in the walkthrough, there's some, let's do this. Let's go back to just normal loading mode. There's these ARP chords, which are really fun. You play a chord, it's using ARP, blue ARP. And if I say unify instrument 1 only for loading, I could choose a couple other ones. And then I can pan them. Now, if I want, I can, same thing as I did with the drums, I can go over here and say duplicate links to all layers. And now the low pass works on all of them. The high pass. The amount of delay, the amount of reverb. I can make it totally dry. There's things on the other pages too, sample start. Whether the samples are forward or reverse even, stuff like that. So there's all sorts of things to play with in the library. The ARP sequences, these are more not stackable, I would think, because as you see, this is minor 7. If I say another one in minor, I could try to add it, but you wouldn't want to add like minor and major. Let's go down here to the drums, to the loops. Now I just said I'm going to delete that layer. For the loops, I need to say load it into a unified layer because it's multiple layers. Now let's go here and add a BPM bass. And we're going to say unified layer again so that we have it load whatever is needed. In a case like this, I might want to like right click on the G8 for all of these layers and stop them at C, and then I can go down here to the vocals. Let's say we go vocal chops, and let's load the sample version. So I can open this up and then I can play with the knob if I want right here. And the vocals, I want them to stop, so I'm going to just right click and drag because I'm already jamming and playing. Take the samples. Everybody works together. It sounds so good. And then if you want, you can go to the individual things. Like let's go to the drum loop. Maybe we'll give you guys this as a bonus patch because it came out better than I expected. If you open up this unified layer, you'll see that it's playing all these different layers. He has an enforcer on here, but let's get this compressor to snap even more. So let's go like this. And on this snare, I want even more characters. So one of my favorite tricks, as you guys know, is to use this LFO for all sorts of tricky things. So I'm going to set it to one shot. I'm going to say unipolarity, crank it for pitch, and give me a custom shape. So this makes it an envelope. Now speed up the LFO. Now it's got a really cool attack at the beginning of it. Now let's do the same to the kick. Go to the kick. And let's say unilateral, one shot, custom shape. Make it snappy. And then bring it pitch. And we'll be down and pitch a little bit. These hi-hats, I want to pan them left and right a little bit more. And let's say I want to put I'll make a delay on one of them. And let's have it distort with the power curve. Let's hear how it sounds. For the delay, let's make this be a little bit faster. Let's have to do a high pass filter. Then I'll use the mix to control the volume. And then I want a different delay, delay. So let's do this. Let's go omega delay on the other percussion sound. And I'm going to hold down Control and Shift to copy the settings of this delay and apply them to this other one. So it's also now high pass filtered. I'm going to bring up the feedback a little higher on this one. Let's get rid of the sampler so that I can turn on and off whatever levels I want. So let's make these into chords. So let's say let's go 10 and minor so forth. Turn these down a little bit. The music is drowning out your voice. Oh. I thought I turned down the music. Let's see. Sorry about that. How's that? Is that better? Is the music and better balance? Or is it any different? How's that? Better balance? Sorry about that. Okay, so let's save this since Bob was talking about his Shogun. Okay, now. Okay, great. So let's go Z ARP. Let's call it this. It's a BPM split. So Z BPM split Shogun. Shogun Sunset. Kind of sounds a little like could be from I don't know. Anyway, it's something fun. John Limcool added to this. So let's go save as. Save. The music is so good. Yeah, it's funny because I don't hear the mix in my head that you guys are hearing because I'm hearing just the raw sources and then it's going through this as my mixing source and it doesn't help me very much for hearing what's going on. I'll have to see if there's some other alternatives I can do to get this to be a little bit more predictable. Sorry about the... I think I want the snare to be a little higher. Let's go to the snare. Chorus tuning. And I want to add a delay to one of the vocal chops. So let's go over here and just say right here. Let's add another omega delay and let's just have it be like eighth notes on both sides and just a little bit of stereo widening. What this percentage does on the omega delay is it's an offset and it expands with each tap. It gets even more out, so you got to use it sparingly. Maybe quarter notes. Let's do this. Let's put it onto something that stays at. Okay, it's a little bit too much, so let's go to our balance. Better. And just to make it even more interesting, I'm going to add a little reverb. Let's do Zen Verb. point, it has to be an auxiliary bus because I don't want it to send. I want to put the reverb at 100%. I want to delay it 100% and then the reverb, so that way the reverb only hits the taps. So I'm going to go down here. I'm going to say, add me a new empty auxiliary layer, and I need to have omega delay, and I need to have Zenverb. So go reverb, Zenverb. Now, what I can do, I can hold down Control and Shift and click the little bullet on omega delay, and then hold down Shift and click that same omega delay down here and watch. Let's go like this. Let's open this up so you can see it. When I click Shift and right here, boom, it updates all these parameters to the same settings as the omega delay up here that was as an insert effect. So I've copied those settings. I'm going to copy the settings and delete from Zenverb, and then hold down Shift and click right here. Now, omega delay, I need this to be 100%. And then go back to that vocal chop I had it set to. And they're all doing it. So now we can turn down most of them. Now I need to just find the elements that I want to have sent to that so I can choose different amounts. Let's turn on one more element. I'm making this is called chords. Turn it down a little bit, it's a little loud. Little echo. The Shogun is thinking of his wife and kids as he stands in battle ready to start fighting. Okay, Shogun Sunset. So save that. Let's make this into a patch you can have. Let's see. So I need to go new folder and call it libraries. And it's tricky. I don't know if you guys have seen this, but I have a new monitor I'm using. So all sorts of things are going on. Check this out. If I turn on the camera for, let's see, let's have the library artwork go away. I can turn on, boom. Hello. Why isn't it showing it? Oh, it's supposed to show the camera. This is Osmo Pocket. Osmo Pocket. There it is. Check this out. So if I go just Osmo. This view, if I say photos, it'll take it a second power up, but check this out. When I went to Los Angeles on this big trip and I loaded up my monitor, I had a really nice 27-inch monitor that I loaded up, and I put it in a tote, and I had something leaning against the tote, and that's what it did to the monitor. So sadly, that monitor died. So when I got home, I was going to have to deal with just having one monitor instead of two. And if you remember me talking, I was not a big fan of, I had one monitor at 4K resolution and another monitor that was just a 1080 HD monitor. and it was just the screen's jumping resolutions all the time. So I searched online and I read some reviews. For those of you interested, this is here. I'll show you on Amazon. In fact, if you want to see this, I don't get any affiliate for this and stuff like that, but this is the monitor. Let's see. That's not the one I got. Where's my orders? Check this out. This is what I ordered. It's the InnoSyn 49-inch ultra wide, and it's on sale at $200 off. It's $800 instead of $1,000. And it's a 49-inch super wide. I mean, look at this. This is nuts. It's absolutely nuts. If we go just the Osmo. There. Do you hear me now? Testing. 1, 2. If I turn this off. Oh, there. 3, 3. Okay, so is that working? Is that okay? Now, just let me know if you hear doubles, because this is what I was using earlier when I got doubles. So it'd be really funny if now it's working fine and we don't hear doubles. I don't see in OBS. I'm looking to see if I have. See, go like this. Hello. Oh, here. I see. There. I had 2 mixers. I had 2 different mixers inside of OBS. There. Now you shouldn't hear doubles. That was the problem. I had. It's funny, on the Just Osmo, I was just seeing 1 fader, but when I went to this, it had 2. So when this is up, you're hearing doubles, and there's doubles of my voice. I can turn it down. We love technology. Okay, so, all right. So let me get this patch, and we need to go to libraries, and we're going to make a folder that's called patches. I knew it had to be something stupid, and of course it was something stupid, but we solved it. Okay, so that, compress this, compress, and then I need to name it after Unify libraries. Copy that. Let's see, let's just call it MC. Bonus patch .guru. So you just have to drag this over the top. Let's see. Bye-bye to you. And let me put this into Dropbox. Hello, Dropbox. How are you doing, buddy? There's Dropbox. Come over here. Plugin Gubu Freebies is my folder I like to use here. Where's my folder? It says libraries. And let's say Moonflower tapes. Open. Put this in here. Copy the URL. All right. So let me go to our chat. And Paste. There. Now I hear you. Okay, good. I apologize for the. I just have new monitors and I had to redo my setup, and it turns out. Yeah, see, is there? I'll have to see if I can get rid of that. Hide. Can I just get rid of it? So there's two. Here, I'll show you guys in OBS so you see what's going on. Look at the feed. But see right here at the bottom, there's two sliders. There was a Mac OS screen capture that was up. So I have turned that down. So it is no longer screen capturing and passing that through. So that's where the echo was coming from. I don't hear that because that's at the output going just to you guys. So I apologize. All better. So if you drag that file over Unify, it will install Shogun Sunset as a ZBPM patch that you can just call up and you'll play low C. And you just get this cool meditative thing going. And it's actually like G equals playing, well, you'll figure out what to play. Right? So that's fun. In this library, please watch the video walkthrough because I go through all of the library showing everything that's going on. There's some really cool basses. And he made all of these sounds and then sampled them from Vital. So that's a really cool farming technique. Very, very clever. And that also means, if you read between the lines of what he said, that there will be a Vital library in the future that we might get with a whole bunch of stuff and a whole bunch of genres. That should be really, really, really fun. So I hope he does that. That's very cool. Okay, so I have a whole lot of stuff to show you, and I've used up most of the time already. Oh my gosh, how time flies. Well, let me see here. I want to point out some, and I'm not showing something that I need to show. So let me go over here. Let me fix something really quick because we do have a new plugin that came out from our friends at GeForce. They've released Base Station, and we have, thanks to Shane, while Shane is busy and doing his own thing, he does have time to reply at times on the forums, which is lovely. And he also is still using automated software to save out patches, which saves. So he saved all the patches to GeForce's new plugin. So let me show you Base Station really quick. This is the plugin from GeForce Audio. Let's see, I could probably turn up my Unify signal now a little bit. Where is Unify in this list? Hello. There's Unify. Let's set it back. So how's this relationship? How's that sound? Is that okay? Yes, the unified libraries. Okay, we'll get to Hyperion and TAA in just a second. So this is Base Station. And if it looks like the Novation Base Station, it's because it is. They did a partnership with Novation to release this. You have all the library patches here. You also have them over here. So if I say sweep, I should find the Della sweep in. Where did he put that? There it is right here, synth. And just like anything else, the power of Unify is that I can go to any other patch in the library and just click to add it. So we're playing 4 base stations at once. And this is available. Here, let me give you the link in the chat here, because I've been gone for 2 weeks. So we've done stuff and sent newsletters out and stuff, and you might not have picked up on it. Let me go over here to GeForce. Oh, I haven't set it up there. Where did I put it? I will put it into the video description after the live stream. I don't want to delay it. I have it somewhere where it's not where I expected it to be, but it will be available if it's not. And I'll send out a newsletter tomorrow, since it's the last day of our big sales going on, and I'll include the link to it. But 9 days ago, I linked as well to it. That's interesting. Base station. Here it is. Copy the link. Let's go to our chat here. I'll put it into the chat. Oh, good. Wolf's Kid. That's great. Happy to help. Yeah. What is your native language, Wolf? I'm curious. Yes, and there's that stuff too. Yes. Yeah, the base station is great. I really am impressed. They did really cool voicing to it, because while there's a ton of basses, as you can see forever, what's fun with this is it has a lot of the parameters and so forth of the original base station, but it also has unison. It has additional things as far as to the XLFO, the XDSR, which are not in a base station, as well as the effects, which are a high pass filter as a separate effect. So you can use the low pass filter here. And then you can use the effect of the high pass. And even though it's an audio effect, it has key tracking. So they did some really kind of clever things in here. That the distortion is great. And yes, as Glenn is pointing out, the unified version uses the VST3 version, which means once you've installed Base Station, you go to the little plugin, go to operations. I use select plugin files to scan, because at this point I've already scanned. I don't need to scan the whole folder again. And then you can go to your native folders for the plugins, and you can say Base Station's here somewhere in the list. I've been adding quite a few things. A lot of things have been added. So Base Station is there in the list. Add it. Then it's known inside of Unify. So if I go down the list here to Base Station, you'll see that it's the VST3 version. You don't have to have all of them known to Unify. In Unify, some things, and for those of you curious, if you go here to the Plugin Guru list, if you go to Unify and then scroll down the tab, did I put GeForce here? I need to put GeForce Base Station here. I haven't done it yet. I'll be putting it after the live stream. I'll put it here. But we tell you what plugin flavor you need to have known, what the patch library is assigned to, because it changes. So many companies can't even use VST3 anymore, or VST2 anymore. It's only VST3 at this point. So we're leaning more on VST3 as the format of choice, but for a long time. Unify's been out for 5 years. So a lot of stuff was VST2. At some point, if they, as long as they make the VST2 plugin, then we're safe. Just have that known. Okay, so Base Station, I think it's still on the introductory sale at GeForce software, and go view toolbar. So here it is. on the GeForce website. So go geforcesoftware.com. And no, I want to go back to Base Station and explore. It's $49.99 British pounds. So that's a great introductory price, half off. If you need bass, it goes all sorts of places. And again, because it's unified, and this is the unified of all the patches, you just click, click, click. That's cool. All right. So that is really cool. I have a friend that has a really, well, he started Embertone and he's now started a separate company. I want to show you something he's created that's really cool. I actually upgraded to Native Instruments Complete 15 in order to show this because I didn't have, but it's Tempest Instruments. He has 2 products to show you guys. One that's free. Let's see, I'm calling up Tempest Audio. So here is Contact 8. And we had a gateway timeout. Great. Let's do this. Go Tempest Audio. Why am I getting a gateway timeout? That's very strange. If we go over here to brand, to Tempest, he has 2 products. I'm going to show you this retail product first. He has a free orchestral instrument I will show you in a second. Signal is the collection that I'm really impressed with this, although their website, he must be bidding slammed or something. This is really cool. It's called the Signal Music Museum, and it's 6 classical instruments that you can choose, which give you all of the sounds. And if you click information, it will pop and it tell you the information about, I thought it was the museums. So this is the Walter piano from 18. Oh, and my lovely kiddo. Hold on a second. Hey, buddy, I'm on a live stream. Let me call you back, okay? Hello? Okay. I thought he said that this would tell you, in addition to ever-changing display, learn more at signalmusic.org. Seagal. And his website is not coming up for me for some reason. I'm getting these timeout errors. But if you go to this link, these are classic. Oh, here we go. The grand piano. This is the Anton was a piano maker who built piano and harpsichords in Vienna. All this information on the piano. So these are historical pieces you get to play that he's carefully sampled. I can't play both. I learned a long time ago, but I can't play the whole things. Anyway, there are the Broadwood piano, the clavichord from here, and there's different locations, and this is the back of the stage. Let's have the natural version played. So these are really unique. It's not like just like the best piano in the world per se. Instead, these are historical instruments that you can play. And this is the Broadwood piano. And let's see if somehow it pops this up. There we go. joined John Broadwood and Sons from 1845 when Chopin was forced to flee France and take refuge in England. He accepted the offer to use what was then the largest grand piano maker made, Broadwood. So he played on these pianos. And there are different presets. So here's a CinemaScape version. Oh, wait, I want to get back to the piano. So go back to the main, to the Broadwood piano, natural. So these are really cool in that they are historical instruments that have this wonderful character and space to them. So there's at the writing desk variations. Right? So these instruments are really unique. You can hit the information and they always pop up this that is a little irritating. And hit information. No. I want more information on the Stein piano. So is there not information on the Stein piano beyond this? Anyway, there's supposed to be information inside of it. It keeps popping up this information thing. I wish it didn't do that, but let's see, the Walter piano. We can go over here to the scoring information. Once again, this pops up and then it goes to this. Go back. Yeah, I thought it would be a little bit more helpful information like that. But the Seagull library is nice. And they do work with other libraries. Of course, it's in normal tuning and so forth. So you can even go to other libraries like Purity. Call up something like, let's say, Yesterday in My Mind, and load that. So now we have... Let's take this up an octave. So they all work together very nicely. Even if you add keyscape, so forth, you can add these instruments and then layer them with other libraries to get even richer, more unique. But they have such great character. They play very nice. You know what? I did it wrong. I did about the you're right. Let's fix that really quick. I'm sorry. Now that I'm thinking of what I didn't do it right. So go Moonflower tapes. Here's what you have to do. It's at the top of the libraries folder or the patches folder. So my bad. Now I got to find it. Moonflower tapes. Did I put it into the trash? Where did it go? Hello, computer. It's thinking as it adds up over here. Oh, you know what? I put it into the Dropbox. So let's go like this. Go here. It takes just a second to fix. I can fix it. I messed up. I didn't put it into a specific folder. I put it into a patches folder, which you'll find now in your patches. Wait, hold on a second. Let me figure out what I did. So plug in freebies. Libraries, Moonflower tapes. Let me fix it here. Zip. Use zip. I have to go out to the Finder, to the library. here's what I did wrong. So if we open this up, libraries, I need to make a new folder and give it this name and then put this into here. And now it will work. I messed it up. I'm sorry, guys. So let's go like this, copy that name, compress, and give it the name. As soon as you said that, I figured out I'd made a mistake. Let's see. So we go copy this link. Here's the fixed version that will work. I apologize. You have to, once you go libraries, my mistake is I put the patch into the, so if you look in your libraries folder, you'll find this patches folder just sitting there with the patch. So delete that from your libraries folder. If you go unify, open up libraries, there'll now be a folder that says patches. Delete it. I'm sorry about that. But now it will go into the Moonflower tapes and into the patches folder and then save. So that way it will show up at the end of the Moonflower tapes. So then you'll find Shogun Sunset that you can then call up and it will take off. Yeah, the Tempest website is slow. I'm not sure what happened, but I'm getting this. So they're just being hit hard. I think a lot of people think this is a good library to have. I don't know. But they also, they have a free instrument that they're advertising that maybe is causing some of this. Let me show that to you really quick. Contact 8. Their plugins, by the way, these libraries only work in Contact 8, so you have to have the newest version of. That's why I upgraded to the Complete 15. Also, Weaver Beats did a stupid video saying that Native Instruments is toast, and I don't think he realizes how dangerous it is to make videos where you're basically shaming and doing that to companies that can affect that can make them go toast. So I'm like, well, it's time to update anyhow. And so I have friends at Native Instruments, and they started in 1996, and we cannot afford to lose them. So if you haven't updated in a long time, maybe consider supporting them, because I don't want them to go out of business. They're a huge company at this point, but that makes it where they need stuff happening. Anyway, this is the second free library that's available at the unavailable website. Keep trying Tempest.audio. Maybe it'll hopefully get better. And this is an interesting library. It's free, so it has graphics that look like it's free, but it does cool things in that it's allowing you to cycle. Oh, here we go. There we go. The website just popped up for me, so it does work. Join our newsletter. No, thank you. But Tempest, and then they have the Sona Chroma, which is what I'm showing you right now. This is a free instrument. Yeah, their website is not working very well right now. They need to talk to their service provider and say, hey, we need a little more bandwidth, please. But this is allowing you to segue. It's like vector orchestral synthesis. And then they have all these different types of patches. So it's more experimental and now I haven't tried to record. Let's try, just because I'm curious. I'm going to turn down the volume. Let's get Logic up here, and let's go over here. Turn on Unify, and let's go to Contact 8. Actually, let's do this. We need to do this straight from here. So we say No, we want to go right here. Contact 8 stereo. Let's see if we can automate it as far as getting all those things to go. So we want to go to the brand. This is Tempest Instruments. Signal Chroma. They have been, I mean, the last 10 years, I don't know. Machine has been about 10 years. You're right. I mean, they are more into the making libraries, sample libraries and stuff like that. Instead of instruments, Massive X was the last synth that they released, and it's finally working good. I got to play with Massive X years ago. 5 years ago, they brought out Massive X because I saw it in Germany when I was at the Thomann synth event. Let's see if we can automate this. So if I go over here and I set this to latch, and let's say our tempo is like maybe 100. Yep, it records it. So quantize. So it does record this. Cool. So you can get automated, cool things happening. The other way to check this would be to, let's see, turn that down. If we're over here and we, let's see, if we open up Contact 8, and let's see what happens if we do this. If we hit the ear and we move this, we have the y-axis, and then if we let's also hit the ear and go x-axis. So it would do one axis here, and then we could use the ear and we'd want to open this up and say not x-axis. Let's try x. Yes. So that way I would have one knob to go left and right and one to go up and down. So that way I could have 2 knobs that I automate and get that to work if you want. UVI out here, you have a powerhouse. No NID. I know. I just don't want them to go out of business. And that video is such a potent poison pill. The effects are more apparent if you play with the chords. Now, let's see here. I got to get my volume back up. So. It's just kind of cool. You have all these instruments you can segue between. Now, they don't give you a lot of parameters. I assume there's going to be another version of Chroma coming out that would be a paid version where you have a lot more control over... Oh, you do have some controls. If you hit the little settings here, you do have effects. Delays. The microphone choices. MIDI C-CC assignments, so you can set them up here if you want. So that's cool. It does have some nice control parameterization. So anyway, it's a free instrument to play with if you want something unique. The way that these work is that you get them from the site, and then you go to native access and you enter the code. The instrument becomes something you install at that point and work with. So those are free. Another new, yeah, Audio Modern. Yeah, there's a lot of competition, of course. So anyway, I have friends at Native Instruments, and I appreciate what they have done over the years, and so I paid my update to get it. So yes, okay. So the other news we need to share that we'll do really quickly, since we're just a little bit over, is we now sell Hyperion and TAA at the website. Paul Carter is working with me on Unified 2, and he has worked out the code and licensing, so it has a license engine built into it when you get a Hyperion or a TAA. Now, Hyperion is the full-blown it's insane what this plugin can do. Hyperion is the editor version. As you can see, we're playing water. He has all of this. I've watched him do his demos. And so here's poly echoes. We'll do some tutorials in the future. I'll show you how to build stuff from scratch. If you're familiar with modular synthesizers, you have frequency and you have trigger. It's the same as it is in a modular system. You can right click and you can choose what modules you want to add. He brought this out shortly after Unify came out, so he's at almost 5 years that he has been working on this, and so he has added all sorts of things. If you go to the core commonly used nodes, this is where you'll find your main oscillators. By the way, when you get to an oscillator, when you click oscillator, over here it pops up a place where you can choose all sorts of forms of synthesis and oscillator types. If you click ADSR, so you have both a 3D kind of like a perspective of the layout as well as all the parameters over here. There's a performance mode that you can get to, which gives you all sorts of additional controls. Let's see. Let me just keep going real quick. So, and then TAA is the player version, which instead of giving you that editing page, let's say if we go over here to poly echoes in TAA, it sounds the same. Oh, wait. Let's go poly echoes. Let's see, ambience. Let's say dark drone. And if we go to TAA and ambience is dark drone, it's the same. Only difference is in TAA, you have simply the performance page, which has controls. To play. And he went through and picked out the patches that are like some of the init patches, some of the audio effect patches. They didn't apply, so they are not here. But in TAA, you have, and the sound quality is very, very nice. Let's call it deep bass here, and it looks like this, right? So you've got the artwork and all that kind of stuff. If we go to deep bass inside of Hyperion, deep bass, it sounds the same, but when you open it up, you have all of the parameters that were used. The oscillators, this is using 3 oscillators going into a filter. So if you go to the filter, I can take this into places you might not be able to go in TAA because maybe the performance knobs don't go all that way. You also have inside of Hyperion where you can say, give me another layer. You can go to the library and like Unify, start layering up if you want. Right? So you have those to play with and do all sorts of things. They are both available and are at 40% off until Sunday night. So if you want a new, like, blow your mind out of the water synthesizer, if you start looking at some of these, let me find one of these that has a whole lot of stuff going on, like Billions and Billions. It gets into generative thing. Let's see if we go to the database and we say sequenced it just goes on and on. This is one of those where you like play the patches and literally need to just let it evolve if you're playing the ambiences and stuff. Here's the generative stuff. So if we say he has some libraries that we'll be selling soon as well at our website. He has 3 libraries for Hyperion that so this has a lot going on. So experimenting in all sorts of different forms of synthesis, as well as normal sounds. It's not all out. When you get to experimental, yes, it's cool experimental stuff. But if you get to like the keyboards and stuff like that, it can electric pianos. Right? So we have all sorts of places it can go. It's really nice. Right? So it's really nice that we are, a lot of you own this already. If you go to the current deals and free stuff, you can see that we have Hyperion and TAA and Moonflower here. If you go to more info, you will see that on this page, there is the unified library link. So if you already own Hyperion, if you bought it from Traction, it's still available at Traction as well. We're just selling it at our website as a secondary option. Click here to download the unified library. If you click this link right here, this will take you to a page which gives you all of the downloads of the Mac or the, thank you. So you can download the full version and demo it. It gives you, there's a noise that pops up, I believe, when it's in demo mode. What happens is when you call it up here in the corner, instead of saying registered, it will say locked or demo or locked. I can't remember what it says, but it says something that basically it's not registered yet. So you would when you buy it from us, when you'll get a place in the settings where it's I can't remember where the setting option is, but there's a page where you can say unlock with it's basically the screen that pops up and you click up here and you get to the lock unlock, and there's unlock from Traction or unlock from pluginguru.com. And Traction, you log into your account through the plugin. On the pluginguru.com, it's the license that you get when you buy it from our site. Once you've got it registered, it will say registered, and now it's happy, and that page doesn't show up anymore. So there you go. And we'll have the libraries in the next couple of weeks. We'll get those up and running be available and for sale at our site as well. And they're great. So just want to let you know that those are both available. They are wonderful, wonderful instruments. I mean, there's 786 patches. Paul is prolific with the work he has done. And he's working on Unify 2. So we're very excited for what we are doing with Unify 2. I can't wait to be able to show you everything that's coming. It's very, very exciting. It says locked. I just had to relog in. And Hyperion does get updates. He has released, I think, somewhere around 60 some updates since it came out 5 years. He's released more updates of Hyperion than we have of Unify. So yes, when there are things to update, he does do releases of updates and stuff like that. So. Okay, Da Vinci, I'm going to just ask, please don't talk about Blue ARP anymore. We know that you're using the new version of Blue ARP. Unify doesn't have the new version of Blue ARP. Please don't talk. I put you in mute one time already. I don't want to mute you again. We're at the end of the live stream, but it's not appropriate to just talk about other things that we're not talking about. I consider that to not be very professional. So please don't do that. Sorry I have to say that. I wish I didn't even have to say that. Unify says Moonflower patch is installed, but there is nothing to be found in the Moonflower folder. I'm not planning at this point to do a library for Hyperion. Paul has told me not to learn to get deep inside of it. He's working on some stuff we can't talk about. So there is, future development, all sorts of stuff going on. So I probably will not do a Hyperion specific library at this point. It's an awful lot to learn how this works. And there's future stuff we're working on. That's what I'm involved in working on. So I don't have time to do that. I will say that I am working on a really cool library. Right now it's called Groove Summit. I'll show you next week some stuff about it. It's insane. It's the most crazy drum loop library I've released to date. So it will be really fun. Yes, the library Moonflower tapes, this free bonus Shogun Sunset patch that I released for you guys. It's a little loud. You can hold down Option to turn it down a little bit if you want. So it's not quite so loud. You have to own Moonflower tapes for this library to be of any use for you, okay? Just because they did talk to me in chat about it. Okay. What's the Unified 2.0 teaser for today? I'm not going to tease anything. My brain is fried. This is a lot of information that I was going to talk about my trip a little bit more. Let me show you one photo that came from the trip that was nice. Let's see. I went to Death Valley, and the last night was actually the first night was a really nice night. I took this photo. Another photo that I took that came out really nice. There was snow on the drive there. It was a crazy trip because I ended up having to stay for multiple days. Beyond, I can show you a little. We'll go a little bit. We'll go 10 minutes over. So, after let's see. I first went to the NAMM show, and let's see if there's anything here. I was honored to be interviewed for the NAMM org oral history. So if you go to the nam.org, I don't think the interview is up yet, but they have this library of oral history interviews that I will be added to this at some point here, which is pretty cool. So they're editing the videos and stuff like that, but they asked to interview me for the history of what I've done in the music industry. So Mark Vail from Keyboard Magazine back in the day, and the video editor that worked with us was there. He was really kind. It was really fun. We had the old men of MIDI dinner. I'm one of the old men of MIDI dinner, and we had Mark Vail. We had Marcus Ryle. Duh. This is the keyboard player with Billy Joel. We had Andrew Schlesinger. We had my brain is just so fried after I do these live streams. Manny Fernandez is a friend of mine that's also now in the Old Men of MIDI. He was there. Got to see the new version of Zebra 3 that's in the works. So Urs is a good friend for many, many years. Before Unify came out, I went to Super Booth, and he let me show the early version of Unify during Super Booth. Super, super cool. I'm going to go to Super Booth this year. I don't know. Maybe we'll get to show. We'll see. We'll see what's going on. Anyway, so the Saturday and Sunday, we set up at a cool place in Silver Lake. So this was Paul with Hyperion. He had this side of the stage. I had here we are sitting together. We had our tables with headphones showing off. The guys next to us were from Iceland. It was very, very cool. let's see. During the show, we were giving demos to people, which was fun. Let's see here. I like this picture. This girl came up and just started jamming on Unify and playing like it was really fun what she was doing. And then after this, let's see here. Here's a picture from what was going on at this. It was called the Buchla and Friends event, and it was a lot of people. It was packed. We got to show to lots of people, which was really fun. All sorts of videos here. This is where I got inspired with the ultra-wide monitors. My friend Ryland has two 49-inch displays, one for his PC, one for his Mac, plus side monitors and other, just an incredible layout for what he does. So that kind of planted the seed. And then when I broke my monitor, I'm like, oh, okay, maybe I'm going to do something like that. And then my car broke down. My dad let me borrow his car instead of driving my Honda. My Honda HR-V has 108,000 miles on it. His Ford, he has a little Ford Escape. It's got 18,000 miles, but its warning light for overheating came on. So I got a free tow. Enterprise set me up this is the Airbnb that I stayed at for the night while we waited to hear how bad the report was. And they're like, yeah, we've already ordered the engine parts, so you're going to have to get a rental car. And so I got a black Ford Escape from Enterprise. Went to a really cool spot on the way to Death Valley. They had snow. Oh, there's Hannah and the display. I have all my photos out of order. And then I got to stay at my cousin's in Las Vegas in their house, which is a beautiful house. So I set up a little station. I worked on Groove Summit while here for 2 days and hung out with them, which is really fun. I got to see my friend Lance Abear, have lunch with him. Lance and Linda, anyway, you guys don't know them, but they're really good guys. What else? Then I got to drive home, and the drive home was nuts. I stayed in Reno for the night, and it was nice. And then it started to snow. And then it turned into more snow. And then this was the drive at night. For about an hour and a half, I was driving where I could barely see the tracks of a car in front of me, trucks passing by. It was crazy, 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 crazy drive. But I made it home. And this is today. In fact, I think I took a picture today. Did it show up here in the... Let's see, I think it might have shown up. Yeah, so this is today here. There's 3 inches of snow everywhere. It's very, very nice. I'm going to go to Payette tomorrow and see the Super Bowl with my mom and dad, which will be fun. Good times. Your road trips seem off. Yes, it's the second time I've made a trip to California, and both times cars have broken down. So I'm hoping next time I go to San Francisco not to have car problems. There you go. Yeah. Okay. Well, let's do our shout outs. We always, at the end of our live streams, I'd love to see where everybody is at in the world. When you're driving the snow at night, you can pretend you're flying. Yeah, it was Millennium Falcon flying, Tim, for sure. Shout out from Eagle. Almost 80 in Arizona. Yeah, Dale, lucky you, man. No, it's like 33 degrees maybe. Don't forget, we have just a couple more days left of the library sale at our website, pluginguru.com. My brain is frazzled. I'm just going to go sit and stare at walls for a few minutes. But we have TAA and Hyperion are 40% off. Everything else at the website, if you go to the products page, is 40% off. Modularity from Tim Dale is his new library for Unify. Modular synths and all sorts of really cool, fun, experimental type of sounds is on sale for $31.20 because it's 40% off until tomorrow night. So save money, get new sounds. Shout out from Lake of Constance. Where's that at? Wolf, where are you at? I didn't see where you said where you're at. Huh, I'm looking in the chat. I can't. What country? Oh, Germany. Okay, cool. Well, welcome. Nice to meet you. Glad you're here. In Virginia, hi, Don. Good to see you. Thank you for being here. Appreciate it. Mark in Tucson, Arizona, where it's nice and warm. Tucson, Arizona. Hey, there's a couple of you guys in Tucson. You guys need to meet for lunch. Bram in the Netherlands. Good to see you, my friend. It's fun. Some of the names I see here have been here for years because I think we're on 5 years of doing live streams or something like that now. So, New Austria. Oh, near Austria. Okay, great. Great. Jim in Scotland, Louisville, Colorado. Rob in Amsterdam. Awesome. Hello, Ives in France. Good to see you. The Netherlands. Good, Rob. Good to see you, man. I'll be at Super Booth in Germany in May. So hopefully we can do a little meetup there, something like that. Make sure you do your likes. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you can. I got to do some new video. I got some video ideas, plans, and stuff to get the channel going again, get the subscription list up and stuff like that. What's the heat like? Hardly any. None that I've noticed from heat-wise from my monitor. It's not overheating at all. I'm really happy with this thing. I just got to get used to having so much space. I'm not used to having this much space to work with, you know? And then I'm going to have a monitor up here. That'll be a 27-inch for like a flat feedback because there is a bit of a curve to this. So as you can see, even Unify, you can see there's a bit of a curve to the shape. It's not drastic. It doesn't bother me at all. It really is. It's fine. I'm happy with it. So for the luxury of having this much space, I can have sample editor and mapping and Unify and all sorts of things open and available at once. If you do use these monitors, check this out. There's a really cool utility. Let's see if I can't, let's see if I go here and go to settings. Does this have anything worthwhile? So this is Magnet. And I believe the latest version of Mac OS has something like this built in because ultra wide monitors are kind of new. This is a new thing. But I'm still running. Oh, wait, I don't want that. I wanted to go here. This Mac, I'm still running Sonoma. So I haven't updated to the latest version. Most plugins and audio plugins work. There are still some that have issues. And I'm doing live streams and I can't afford to be working with something that doesn't work. So I haven't upgraded. But with Magnet, what's really cool, let's do this. Let me go to the Osmo feed. Check this out. So here's Unify, right? If I want, I can use command keys. And now it takes up half of the screen on the left or the right, just with the command key. Or I could say I want it to be by thirds. And so I could say have it take up a third here. I could have Logic take up the middle third right here. And then I could say OBS, I want you to be resized to take up the third of the, let's see, will this, since it's a floating thing, it might, oh, it does, there. So now I have it looking like 3 monitors giving me 3 visuals at the same time. And then I could say to Unify, and I could say put you back in the middle third just with a key command. So it's really, really cool to have 3 possible monitors working all at once if I want. Or I can resize it. As you can see, I can just move things around where I want them to be. It's quite the luxury. I'm really enjoying this part of it. So if we go back default webcam and get this back to here, and then I can resize this to where I want it to be. So it's lovely. I'm really happy with this for workability, productivity, functionality. Just having this much, it's like I have so much more space than I've had before. So I have to just wrap my head around being able to work all this space. So it's great. It's on sale at Amazon. If you back up in the video, I talk about it and tell you about it, put a link up and you can see what monitor I have. But it's great. I really dig it. So I'm digging it. Thank you guys for joining us. Thank you to Bob for making Moonflower tapes. Thank you, Tim, for making Modularity. Let me show you real quickly, just 1 second. Groove Summit is like a mountain climbing where you have camp 1, 2, 3, right? And then you get Mount Everest at the summit. only there's 5 camps. And then at the end, you get to the summit, and there you've got the whole drum groove with all these elements. That sounds great. Here's Card Shark. So I'll give you details and stuff in a couple weeks when it comes out. It'll be out in about 2.5 weeks or so. But it's really, really fun. You'll see some libraries that you recognize. That Camp 3 is the free library I released at Black Friday. Some of Camp 5. I'm not even going to tell you any more than I've shown you already. But it's coming. It's in the works. It's super cool. Can't wait to show it to you. And that will be in the future. So always new stuff in the future. Always new libraries in the future. Let's get back to our Moonflower and play this on the way out. So thank you for joining us today. It's been an enjoyable time. Have our vocal chops added. We hope you enjoyed your shopping experience. We only aim for 100% customer satisfaction here. All right, we'll see you next week. Have a great, productive, creative week. Bring us along on your musical adventures, please. We love to help you out any way we can. Cheers. All right. See you guys later. Bye, everybody. I like both teams for the Super Bowl. I'm not going to pick one side. I just hope it's a really good game. I hope it goes down to the last few minutes of the fourth quarter. That's my kind of a football game. And if you have questions, Taylor is just rocking it out of the park with customer support. So Unify support at pluginguru.com. We're here for you. All right. See ya.